So today we're talking about why people from California and other states, why they end up leaving Boise, Idaho after they move here. Hey friends, welcome to the Living in Idaho channel. And if you're new here and you want to know everything there is to living in Boise, Idaho and the surrounding area and the real estate, then be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the bell if you want to be notified each week when I post new content. The goal of this channel is to help you guys as you're determining if Boise or Idaho in general is going to be right for you and a good place for you and your family to relocate to. So today we're talking about why people end up leaving Idaho. They went through all that trouble, they did the research, they came here, but ultimately it didn't work out. And again, my goal is to show you that up front to maybe save you from doing that same thing so that you can go find the state that you actually want to live in. That is going to be a good fit. So number one is going to be climate. Here in Idaho, we have 4 beautiful seasons and they're lovely. I will admit the winters can be long. Like we're in the winters right now. Sunshine was coming through my window today and it was very, very nice, but it can be a long, strenuous process of winter. And for some people, that just doesn't work for them. Maybe they think it works for them, but ultimately, when they start living through it and experiencing those winters, they tap out and they're like, I'm done. I want to go back to California, or I want to go back to Florida, or I want to go back to wherever I came from because I thought maybe I could handle the winters. I thought I'd like, buying the warm clothing and all that stuff, but I just want to be in shorts and flip-flops and I just don't want to deal with winter anymore. So then they end up leaving. And it's not just the cold, it could be the snow. Boise gets on average roughly 19 inches of snow a year, so maybe they don't like driving in snow, they don't like walking in snow, they don't like slipping on ice. It's a myriad of things, and that's what I would push you to consider if you are thinking about coming to Idaho. If you have the option, travel down here in the wintertime and see what it's like. Then on the flip side of that, the summers here can be pretty hot. So if you're coming from a more kind of temperate area and then you come here and you're getting the hot summers and the cold winters, again, it might just wear on you. You might find that you like things just to kind of be even keel right in the center. And in Idaho, you're not going to get that. You're going to get like a nice hot summer, you're going to get springs and falls, and then you're going to get a cold winter. Number 2 is affordability. And this is kind of an interesting one. This maybe more falls into the category of maybe it keeps them from coming here, or as they came here, they had different expectations for what they could get. But I'm going to talk about affordability and how it's changed. Boise, Idaho has become a popular destination now for people looking for a change of pace, maybe from their fast-paced lifestyle that they had in California. And over the years, the prices in Idaho and Boise specifically have gone up. It was, I would say, almost like a hidden gem that got discovered. And now those prices are kind of matching what the demand is. And with that, housing and rental prices have drastically increased, and people moving from California or other states find that maybe Boise isn't as affordable as they thought it would be. I know sometimes in a move, you're really hoping to be able to get more bang for the buck on the transition. Say you have a growing family and you want more room. You would think, okay, well, if I buy a 2-bedroom in California, I want to be able to buy a 4 or 5 bedroom in Idaho. And there are still really good deals to be had out here, but again, affordability isn't what it was a few years ago. Number 3 is going to be culture shock. Idaho is not California. As a Californian, you are probably used to diverse communities with a variety of foods, entertainment, and cultural events. In Boise, you'll find the options are definitely more limited. This city and Idaho as a whole is predominantly white. And the city and Boise in general also lack progressive and liberal values that Californians are used to and accustomed to. But then on the flip side of that, a lot of people are moving here because of the way Idaho is. They don't like what's happening in California or the state they're coming from. They don't like what's trying to be taught in schools or how the government is forcing things upon them, or just certain things that are happening in their city that they disagree with. And then they see Idaho as kind of the haven for them. And I think what they find is that what's happening in Idaho and how Idaho runs itself and how the people are is way more in line with who they are and how they want to live their lives than where they're currently living. And then, of course, just pointing out the obvious, that's a big fear of people here in Idaho, and that's something that they don't like. They don't want you to turn Idaho into California. If you're going to come here, come here. Think about the culture. Think about the differences. Consider it. Weigh it out. And if this is something you're wanting, then come be a part of it and join us. A good community is not built on what we don't agree on. A good community is built on what we have in common. If you're thinking about moving to Idaho and you've watched enough videos on it and you're just thinking, I'm ready to take the next step, then be sure to reach out. You can call, text, email, schedule a Zoom call, whichever works best for you. I talk with people just like you all the time and help guide them on their journey of calling Idaho home. Number 4 is going to be traffic. Boise specifically is growing a lot and they're working on the infrastructure. But you might think, man, when I move out to Boise, I'm going to be saying goodbye to traffic. And maybe you do come here and the traffic is really nice compared to where you were. Or maybe you do come here and you're thinking, gosh, I thought it would have been better. Besides 84, the main freeway going through the area, there aren't a ton of options outside of that to get you around. Once you get off the freeway, you're really stuck to streets with lots of stop signs and or lots of stop lights on them. And so getting around town, especially during rush hour when people are either coming into the city in the morning or leaving the city in the evening, can be a little bit frustrating. Or going from 84 into Eagle and they're going down Eagle Road. Or you're, say, down south in the Kuna area and it's a huge grid, kind of a farmland, and there's stop signs, and you're the 30th car in the line to make it through the stop sign. So yes, we're smaller. Yes, our population is possibly smaller than where you're coming from, but it doesn't mean that the traffic's going to be that much better from where you're coming from, just because in certain situations we're kind of maxing out the infrastructure and it's not ideal. So that's something to consider. Number 5, which is going to be the final one for today, and it's going to be job opportunities. Moving to Boise, Idaho can present some challenges in terms of finding gainful employment for you to afford to live here. Now, with that being said, if you're considering Boise, it is the most populated area in Idaho. And if you did have a chance of finding gainful employment and you need to be around people, commerce and businesses and all that stuff, then this is a great spot to do it. But at the same time, again, it's nothing compared to maybe what you're experiencing or what you're used to in California or the state that you're coming from. So when you're considering moving here, it is good to know if that one place I come work for, what happens if that doesn't work out? Are you then going to commit to saying, I'm going to find work here no matter what? Or are you then going to have to move to go where the work is so that you can live? So there you guys have it. Those are 5 reasons why people who have committed to living in Boise eventually end up leaving and go elsewhere. So hopefully that was helpful to you guys as you're considering your move. If you listen to these and you're thinking, yeah, those 5 reasons, like I've considered those, I've thought on those, I don't think they're going to be a negative for us, then I would love to help you guys make that transition. You can feel free to call, text, or email, and I'd love to chat with you. It's as easy as just picking up your phone, dialing the number, and just getting that conversation started. Just this week, I talked to somebody who is considering moving here in 2024. I also talk to people who are considering moving here next month. And so no matter where you are in your process, it's good just to make that phone call and take that next step so that you can keep moving down the path to making Idaho your home if that's what you want to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.